All right, guys, do you know him from Last Comic Standing, his comedy specials, and appearances on Comedy Central, MTV, and many more? Guys, please welcome Al Jackson to the zoo!
Yes.
What's up?
All the love from dude with those suspenders, man. I feel like my day can only go down from here.
Well, your Letterman jacket is actually upstaging those suspenders.
I try, man. You guys are some stylish dudes.
Thank
a lot
you,
of
sir.
chest hair up here, and I'm
Yes.
fine with that.
We
It's
keep it fresh.
2016.
Yeah.
And you know what? With the style that we really explain, like we really portray our style when we sit down with a guest. So we're
Yes.
gonna do 1, 2, 3.
Wow!
So you guys know each other?
Yeah, man. We had a nice little chit chat in the car over here. I've never had that intimate of a conversation with anybody.
He gets intimate
I mean,
pretty quickly.
We were talking about our past. We were talking about our anatomy.
What?
Yeah,
Oh,
we got.
yeah.
Look, we're brothers at this point, so I feel like we can say anything.
Exactly.
All right,
I mean,
Nelly's
yeah.
actually not here for this segment, so go ahead and say whatever you want.
Yes,
Yeah,
please do.
first of all, what happened? There was like 3 hot women on stage,
Well,
and then I get here,
listen,
and it's dude.
We mixed up the cards. We thought that you were a dentist booking, and we figured that we'd make it all guys for this one.
Thank you. Let's get the hot chicks out of here. More dudes. Let's go.
We did 4
Sausage
more.
party!
All right, but now we're gonna have a little bit of a bro talk. What's the
What?
state of comedy?
Oh, bro.
A bro talk. You're part of this too, Dennis.
Okay,
At
I
least for
heard
the
blow
segment.
talk. I'm like, what kind of talk is that?
That's the kind of
He's
man,
hoping for the blow
This
talk.
guy's ready to get booked for the a midnight show at the Comedy Store. Over there.
That's what's up.
Nothing
First of all,
before
I
that.
feel like you did something wrong to have to sit in that seat. Like that's a
I
strange.
know, I'm
Like,
like
what
in
did you say that
the
earned
school
that?
chair. Let me
the
just
sad
pop out the
little
desk.
seat.
Usually I'm there, so they decided to switch it up a little bit.
I mean,
Leave the poor guy alone. I just got out of college. I don't need to go back to the desk. You know,
Then they
right?
spanked me with a ruler afterwards.
That sounded like something you thought about before.
yes, he does.
me a
He
lot.
actually thinks about that all the time.
Here's what's happening in my fantasy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's talk about the state of comedy right now. You know, right now we're going through a very politically correct time.
Right.
And I'm wondering, as a comedian, whether sometimes you have to curtail what you say because you don't want to be too offensive, or is stand-up comedy about not caring about that?
I mean, no matter what people say, you have to care because we are in a time where people can take sound bites, people can take things out of context.
Right.
Every show that I go to, even if I'm not performing and one of my friends is, I see people recording them, and you can take those recordings and make them look and sound however you want. And you say things in jest, you say things in anger, but just a 7-second clip of that can ruin your career.
Wow.
You know, so I mean, it's real, and it's sad because comics are the only people that get paid to kind of come and say stuff that pushes the envelope.
Right.
If it's not, then you're just making statements. You gotta say something. You know, you can't be like, glad to be nice town you guys got here. Drinks are cold, good, yeah. Like try the chips. Like you gotta say something.
Yeah.
And as soon as you do, people are like, that I'm offended, you're fat shaming, you're slut shaming. I'm like, dude, how come when like a dude slides up in the DM and some girl takes a screenshot, how come that's not slut shaming against dudes?
What's the DM? What's the DM?
You know what I'm saying?
That's true. Slides in the DM. What's the DM?
Like the
direct
like,
message.
Yeah, on Instagram.
Like
Don't
if
act
you
like
hit
you
him
don't
up.
know that little like after you like 3 of her pictures.
Yeah,
come on,
that's
man.
his favorite. That's his favorite tool.
I have a girlfriend, and I'm just paranoid that she has some sort of monitor on my social media because she always seems to know if I like a hot girl's picture.
Yes.
Ah.
She
You know?
knows.
So-
They check.
She knows.
Yeah?
They know.
Well, you can just look at somebody's Instagram and find that information out. You need to
Yeah,
ask around before you get in trouble. That's a pretty basic one. Like 11-year-olds know, like, don't do that.
I learned pretty quickly not to leave any comments on beautiful women's photos ever again. But I learned that with the last relationship.
Well, that's just because that's embarrassing. Don't you hate when you see dudes like leaving those corny so beautiful and you're like, ugh.
Yeah.
Like what is she
Yeah.
gonna fall into your arms?
I know.
I did 2 emojis with the heart eyes.
That's funny.
I put that on some guys.
Okay, but what about when you
throw up a
see
little
some of these people that they take a lot of puckery pictures and those looking off into the distance pictures, and yeah, they get a whole string of those comments, but they start liking every comment. You can see that they liked every positive
my
comment.
gosh.
They're reading everything that they say. I mean, is that too self-involved?
It's
do you
just,
think?
the internet has given everybody a chance to make a personal shrine to themselves. You know,
Exactly.
and so This is me getting ready. This is me headed to work. This is me with the seat belt across. I don't know what that shot is in the car.
For some
that
reason,
was like
the
a
lighting
big
is
one.
good for people. They love that light
People
when
love
they're
that.
in the
They love
driver's
it.
seat.
It's 'cause the sun's
What I
coming
really
in.
hate is and this drives me crazy. I'm gonna take a picture of myself in the bathroom with the dirty towels and the
Oh,
clothes
God.
in the pile in the
Toilet
background. Like,
seat up. You're like, come on, sweetie.
I work in production. Like, set the scene.
I agree.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
agree. I hate bad scenery.
But that's
or
how-
bad background. Not a picture.
Creates bad vibes.
Yeah, I don't
So
like
if
that.
the girl's super hot, but like she has like a bunch of like laundry that's not folded in the back,
That's
is
just
that a
nasty.
It's
deal?
distracting.
I'd be like, oh, you're dirty though. Like, oh, your house is
Literally.
dirty. You know what I'm saying? Like, how far? Like, once a girl's room is filthy, like you know what's up. They can only go so far.
straight
I went
up.
over a girl's house one time, and she just had like a bowl of cereal, like it was just sitting on the floor. and I was like,
I
oh,
had
we're
the same
done.
thing with a guy
We're
too. He had
done
a
here.
cereal bowl
Yeah.
and like plates in the room. It turned me
Dump
off
the
so much.
cereal, homie. Like, come
Yeah.
on, ya.
And
Like,
especially
plates.
people that have cats and either they eat tuna or they leave half cans of tuna and that tuna smell when you walk
Yeah.
into somebody's apartment.
Ew, that's disgusting.
I actually have a friend. It's not a woman. It's a man. He has about like 5 cats.
Oh my God.
And should I have an intervention with him about like how many
Please.
cats a single grown mature supposedly straight
You
man
should have done that after
mean,
cat number 2.
Turn into the cat lady.
Unless
Maybe
he's
after
trying-
cat number 1.
Maybe he's trying to set a record though. Then he's Catman, and there's nothing you can do.
He admits it though. At least he's self-aware about it.
But also, you got to know your league. Like, a lot of women aren't gonna like that, but the super crazy cat ladies are gonna love him.
Yeah, true.
So he's eliminating like
Yes.
90%, but that 10 on top.
Know your audience.
Of
You gotta know
crazy
your
cat
audience.
women. Yeah.
Okay, that's the kind of woman I'm sure most guys are searching for. Thank you. Crazy cat ladies.
I was with a cat lady once, and she was, I will say this, she was almost cat-like, intimate-like. She was, like, in the morning, she would kind of like, you know how cats like kind of scratch you before they cuddle and find that spot?
Right.
She had a lot of like cat behaviors going on.
Yeah.
Is that weird?
Yes, that's why
yeah.
you're asking us, because you
Yes.
know it's weird.
I know it's weird.
It's
I want
super
validation
weird.
that
Yeah,
that's
we do.
really weird.
I found myself doing that. I'm like, do you guys think it's weird that this girl, and everybody's like, the fact that you're thinking about it,
Totally.
like that's, anytime somebody thinks that they're not a human being, that's a red flag.
Thank you.
Describe your style of comedy. Like, what are the things you like to talk about on stage?
I like to talk about my life. I know that's not after I just talked about building a shrine to yourself, but I feel like you got to talk about yourself and be real. I think
Right.
it's like
You
your
have
own
to.
kind of therapy where you're
Right.
just like, I did this stupid thing, I did this silly thing. Can y'all relate? And it's really cool when people can. When people can relate to you, you're like, oh, I'm not crazy.
Do you talk
Unlike
about
your cat lady.
Do you talk about your family life, having a wife, having kids? Is that involved in the comedy as well? Is that incorporated?
That definitely got it. That because I originally started talking about being a middle school teacher.
Oh,
like
oh.
that's
He was
how-
a middle school
I
teacher,
taught,
people.
I taught 7th grade.
Were you
for
studying
5
medicine
years.
too?
What's that?
Were you studying medicine?
Yes.
What the
I was
hell?
pre-med.
So what made you
How
want
did
to
you
go
end
to
up in
comedy? I
Dude.
mean, and how did your family react when you're like, okay, I'm not gonna do the studying medicine thing. I'm not gonna have that stable teacher position. I'm gonna do stand-up comedy.
The worst thing happened because my mom didn't even react, which I wanted to have like this big blowout where you have this emotional, I'm
Right.
gonna follow my dream and you're not gonna stop. I really wanted to have that like in the rain, like that
Right.
argument. And like my mom was like, all right. That was like, that's it? Like, can you have some emotion? She was like, you'll be fine. And it's been great.
Well, you know what? We support you finding your dream too, and that's why
Yes.
we want you back after this break. And we're going
Dude.
to talk a little bit more about being from Cleveland, living in Miami, and now living in LA because I did 2 of 3 of those things.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back with Al Jackson right here on the Zoo.
Yeah! Go,
And we're back on the Zoo with comedian Al Jackson. Yay!
Yeah!
Okay. So
Thank you for making me feel at home, Dennis.
Thank you.
I
Of
know,
course.
I know.
You're
The
welcome.
bro talk is over.
All right.
What is that all about, cat ladies? Are you kidding me? That's
Are you a cat
discriminating.
lady?
No, I'm a dog lady. Is that
okay.
Oh my God, that sounds
That's
like
okay.
it's so bad.
So you're mad at me for stereotyping one group, but then you stereotyped yourself as a. No, it's just somebody with too many cats. Is sometimes a little weird.
She's like,
Sometimes,
now
not all
9
the time.
dogs is fine. 9 dogs.
9
that's
dogs is
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. All right. How many dogs do you have?
I just have one.
Oh.
You're
She's
not a
a
dog
rescue.
lady. You're a dog owner.
I'm
Yes.
a dog owner.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of obsessed with her. Like I talk to her and stuff. You know
That's
what
your
I'm
baby.
saying? Like I have conversations with her. Is that or
That's
Yeah.
totally
Totally
fine.
Totally cuckoo.
Yeah, well, not totally, but you're walking down that road.
So you've never met a crazy person that just coincidentally had a bunch of cats? Guy or girl?
Not really, actually, not really. And you know what? My makeup artist just told me that she's a rabbit lady.
Okay.
So I'm a dog woman,
Rabbits
and
are
she's
okay.
a rabbit
Yeah,
woman.
but if you have
I
too
don't know
many-
what-
You're all kinds of ladies, but I just before we bring our next guest to play a
Yeah.
game, I just want to ask you really quick, as someone who lived in Cleveland, who got LeBron back, lived in Miami, where I'm from, during those heat years, and now lives in LA. What's the multicultural experience like in your journey from city to city?
It's been, I mean, it's first of all, as a teacher, living in Miami, being from Cleveland, I couldn't really speak Spanish fluently, but like I could pick out when I knew something was wrong in that sentence, and I know they said something about me. I'm like, what was that? What was that? You know, you just hear giggling. So yeah, it's like, the multicultural. I just feel like all it is an excuse to eat really good food wherever you go.
Absolutely.
In Miami, just immersing yourself in Cuban sandwiches and
Yes.
Cuban coffee.
And
is
Cuban
the-
women?
And men.
Come on, man, you got to. I just love. First of all, Miami, even opposed to Los Angeles,
Yeah.
Miami is a city that doesn't judge you for partying.
No.
like you can get like a Johnny
Oh,
Walker
really?
Black at like 4 in the morning on a Tuesday. Everybody's like, yeah, what's up?
That's the problem with Miami, actually.
sounds good.
Now, I want to bring in another guest. She's
Yeah.
an amazing actress, and she's going to play along with us on a game that we like to call Follow and Follow. So let's welcome Veronica Osorio.
Espérate por acá, mi amor. How are you today?
Bien, ¿cómo estás? How you doing?
Thank you.
You look lovely.
Hi.
How you doing?
Thank you.
Good. So
Stepping it up with the wardrobe today.
We're gonna
ready?
we're gonna do the
We're
walk.
going to do the what? One,
Yeah,
two,
ready?
three. Wow! And now, guys, it's time to play Follow, Unfollow. This is quick, okay? Because we got a lot of people here. So this game is Follow, Unfollow. I'm going to tell you someone who's in the news and why they're in the news and whether you're going to
Okay.
follow or unfollow them on social media.
Jesus Christ.
So first group is the band Rage Against the Machine. They're trying to make a comeback and they're gonna put out a new album, but half of the band is actually starting another super group with members of Public Enemy. So is that just too hard to follow, or are they a great band and you want to hear the music? Does anyone here know who Rage Against the
Go
Machine
out.
is?
I'm gonna say follow because you can see both of them in concert. Like Rage Against the Machine can do their show, and then Public Enemy can just take the ones that they have and then do another show with them. So I'm following.
Fight the Power Revolution.
Absolutely. Follow, 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 because they're partnering with Cypress Hill.
Yes.
And I love that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
See,
they're
that's what's
actually with Be Real. It's gonna be on it.
Cuban, by the way, and Rage Against the Machine, I should stick up for the people of the sun, your peeps.
Yeah,
Okay.
there you go.
What do you
Then
think?
follow. I didn't know this, and now I'm like, follow.
sister.
I was gonna be like, unfollow. It's too many people to follow, but then I'm like,
No, no,
okay,
no,
follow,
hell
follow.
yeah.
I like that. You can't follow too many people.
It's too much.
Unfollow. I didn't care about them before. I don't care about them now. Thank you.
Oh, damn.
Dennis,
Jesus.
I love your honesty. All right,
you,
next
yeah.
one. This is a little dicey. LENA Dunham, the writer and creator of Girls,
goodness.
she recently published a very, I'll say, interesting book, but in it she wrote about molesting her little sister that she describes doing it in the way a
Wow.
predator would do it.
What?
She's getting a lot of backlash. Apparently when she was like 10 and the sister was like 5 or 6, she would kind of like make her sister kiss her and all these other kind of inappropriate things. She's getting a lot of backlash right now. Is this a case of someone being honest and we should kind of like, you know, allow them to be that way? Or is this something that she should be criticized for? Follow and follow.
I say follow. You gotta love honesty. I'm a sucker for it.
Okay.
Do your thing, girl.
Wow, this is just so mind-boggling. Like, are you serious? She said this on the book?
The book, and I'm paraphrasing because I don't have the quote here. She says, I used what a predator would use to get a little kid into like a pedophile situation on my sister.
I have
my
to follow
gosh.
her, and I'm gonna have to follow her sister to see what she says
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I follow too. She was 10. She's just telling a story of like maybe kids are 10 right now.
Girl, but
That's some
that's
hard
so
stuff.
wrong.
It's out
I
there.
mean,
It's out there. I'll say it.
Yeah.
But it's nice that she's honest and there's it's
need-
starting a conversation.
But we need to know what happened.
I'll
Is that
say,
what I'm saying?
well, she gets explicit. I don't have it right here, but she does say that there was fondling and inappropriate touching. And I'll tell you this, double standard. If it was a guy saying when I was a 10-year-old boy, I fondled my 5-year-old sister or 5-year-old brother, would you
Yeah.
guys want to like come down a little harder on him than
Well,
you
like
would
what
on
happened
her?
with
No,
that guy from the
contact.
reality show with the family. You know that
The
big family? What are they
the Duggar
called?
family?
Oh, God.
The 21 and counting or whatever?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
He
Well,
was
that's an adult touching little kids. So maybe,
still,
maybe
it's
it's
like
because two
family
little
stuff
kids.
going on here.
Yeah,
Hello.
but maybe it's because it's two little kids. Maybe it's half.
That's how you know what the heck
One's
you're
a
doing.
pedophile and she was a pedophile while she was actually a kid. So it's a
Right.
little dicey.
Okay.
I do appreciate the honesty.
Complicated, yeah.
Complicated.
Justin Timberlake, he has a new single and it's #1 hit again. But is it time to like hand off like the ex-boy band pop star heartthrob thing over to the next generation?
No, why would you say that is Justin Timberlake.
Justin
Are you kidding
Timberlake.
Why would you do that?
Follow.
He's on top of the world. He's like,
He
why
is.
would you mess that up?
Thank
So
you.
hold on to it.
So
Yes.
following Justin Timberlake, Dennis.
Follow him. He's cute, he's
follow,
relevant,
follow.
and obviously people care enough about him to make him a #1 hit single.
Dennis, you would
Yeah.
follow Justin Timberlake no matter what, or no matter who he touched inappropriately.
I
let's be
actually
honest.
thought he was the ugly one when he was in NSYNC with that curly hair. Yes, they were all ugly.
Yeah, you know, it's funny how some people kind of like, they have an attractive
Yeah.
phase in their life, and sometimes it comes, you know.
He evolved.
It comes later.
Snapchat, guys, it's not a person, it's a thing, but they have this new beauty filter app that's supposed to make people look better, but it's actually making people look whiter.
Okay.
I don't follow, but I use the
Veronica.
filter all the time, and I'm like, I hate so much that I look better because I look so much lighter, and I worked on my tan so much. So why do I look better? I hate it.
Well, you know why
Unfollow.
you look better fair skin? Because you look good with red.
Oh,
That's
good.
Oh, well, I got a compliment.
But I like tans. I like tan skins. I like nully
Okay.
skin, by the way.
Wait, but you look whiter.
So, why? No, not whiter.
you look
White.
lighter.
White.
Lighter.
Lighter.
Okay,
It's a little bit of a white
I'll
wash.
follow. You're
Unfollow.
making me lighter. No,
Yeah,
I don't want
no.
it. I don't want it.
Exactly. I work on this
Do
tan.
you need to look
Yeah,
lighter, by the way?
I do. I mean, I'm out here in Hollywood. I just go for the as white. I'm like as white as you can make me. Let's do it. And I'm gonna lose a lot of followers, but I don't care.
I'm
No,
still gonna follow
absolutely
it.
follow
Who
it.
cares?
That's
horrible.
Last one before we take a break. Mariah has an issue with Jennifer Lopez, and she keeps on doing the feud between her. Are we gonna keep following Mariah even though she's?
Absolutely.
Yes.
100%.
Follow that drama.
Her.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Follow us, the Zoo on LATV. We're gonna be right back after this.
Woo!